All right, we are live. Nice. Nice. All right. I am actually live everywhere right now, I think. Nice. Everybody's working fine. So today what we are trying actually to do is to kind of like Leetcode and solve some from the simplest to the hardest kind of questions. Hopefully we can fit all of them in 1 hour, and let's see how it goes. Yeah, let's wait for some people to join actually, and then we start. Yep. So I have kind of like some of the problems I got from the internet, some problems that I actually told ChatGPT to give me, and they are not very hard. I think some of them are even like middle to senior, and some of them are just very basic. You should know them if you know JavaScript, which is something that you expect yourself to show in an interview and something like that. And why I'm doing this, because this is kind of interactive. People would be happy actually to do these kind of stuff and maybe be able to solve them online and talk about how will they approach these kind of problems. And that's for me is really important, as whenever I type something, I would rather someone tell me why should I not type it that way so I can myself learn for maybe future interviews or whatever. But overall, it's just a habit to always find a way around for any of problem solving. For any engineer, he will always find somehow a new way to solve stuff, right? Okay. Let's wait for some people to join, and then I'll start. Though if you are in the chat, comment if you actually ever tried JavaScript in coding interviews. I think it's not that hard, but it's one of the things that that most of the interviewers use with Python as well, as equally known and popular, and people actually love to code in Python usually in interviews, but I do JavaScript, so that's cool. So we'll start with a reverse string problem. It basically says reverse the given string and return the reversed version. This is in Python. I think you have already a function for it. Like, I love Python a lot. I think there is even like an array.sum, and then you get the sum of everything in that array. Yeah, so in JavaScript, we don't have array.sum. Actually, we have array.sum as in SOME. You're saying, hey, do I have this value or not in my array? Maybe if I have it, then please return true, which is cool actually to have. But anyway, yeah, let's wait for the first comment though in the chat, so then we can start. Let me just also on my side prepare all chat windows so I can actually look at what you are guys typing. Nice. So all good. Yeah, nice. So yeah, nice. Actually, a lot of people joining. That's cool. I think a lot of people has interviews soon. Nice, really. Okay, I'm really glad and surprised by how much people actually interested in software engineering in TikTok, and but about like the boom of geeks in TikTok, and everyone, even if they are not interested, they would just sit in the chat and talk about random stuff that they think software engineering is about. But yeah, cool. All right. Actually, I have everything, I think. Yeah, cool. Nice. So we start with the first problem. Let's do that. What is the goal of this coding? I am not having any goal right now. I'm just gathering people to join the live stream so we can start solving some problems in JavaScript and train about how to behave in basically an interview. Something simple as that. All right. So what I did is actually, if I go GG on top, what I did, I actually prepared the console logs here, and I also printed the width of 100 of 20 on prettier so everybody can see. Usually I don't write code like that. You'll find here 120, and it should be like this, everything in one single line. But for the sake of it today, I'm gonna leave it as 20 so the code fits in everybody's screen. Yeah. All right, cool. Then as we have some people already joined in the chat, let's start solving problems. We start with the most famous one, which is JavaScript to kind of like reverse a string. So the goal, if you cannot read it completely, I'll try also to go down here like that. Maybe that's better. So the goal of this one is to reverse string. This is, if I may say, is a junior kind of problem, and anybody that started with JavaScript should know how to solve it though. And it's really a good thing to know this problem, because they usually start with it. Even though that you don't code much with JavaScript or whatever, you should know how to reverse string in any language, because that's how you kind of like think about algorithmics and how do you memorize these syntaxes and API functions for certain stuff, right? So yeah, you should be knowing these kind of things. And let's start with the first one. So basically the name of my function is reverse string, as you see in here. And yeah, it can be an anonymous function, and that's what I'm gonna do now. Anybody in the chat, do you know how anonymous functions are done, or basically written? So anonymous functions are written like this. Basically, here you put your arguments, and here you execute your code, or you put your logic. And I think in JavaScript that's what we do, and everybody knows that. We call them anonymous functions because when they started, they were self-invoked anonymous functions, kind of like, and they were compared to window.load, which means that you are loading kind of like a web page, and then whatever code that executes anonymously in that web page in the beginning, that's what we call anonymous code. Anyway, so what we have here is we see how many arguments we have. So here we see that we have one argument, which is hello, and you know that that argument is actually a string. So what you are seeing right now, it's saying like in my LSP, S is declared but its value never read. So basically what you need to do is to do your computation on that. So the first thing to do actually is to know some of the string API functions in JavaScript, and the first one is split that we're gonna use on this. In JavaScript also you can do chaining, which is really good. So after you split, you want to do something which is knowing that if you split string, it turns into an array, and this shows that you know arrays and their actually functions as well. I think you cannot see the full of my screen on TikTok, but I think here it says the reverse method reverses an array in place and returns the reference of the same array. So basically we know that if you reverse it and chain another thing into it, maybe to join it, and that's the next function that we're going to use, then therefore you will be able to get the reverse string. The one thing that I forgot to do here, which I should have done, is before these brackets, either I will leave them or delete them, and then the S will go on top, and then therefore I know that I return automatically. But the moment you put curly braces, do the return, because then you don't have nothing to return. You have just basically an empty logic here. All right. Who does know this problem and how to solve it? I think, yeah, someone asked in the chat actually, do you think Python is easier language to learn? I think yes. For me, whenever I work with Python, and it's rarely, to be honest, I do know that it's very easy, especially what we're doing right now exists as already a prototypal function for Python already there for you to use, right? And yeah, if you want, you can start with Python, and then you start to introduce yourself to functional programming, and then maybe from functional programming you start to introduce yourself to classes, to Java, to maybe know a lot about what we call OOP, or object-oriented programming, which means that if you open a class, okay, if you don't know much about programming and then I said a class, maybe you say, what the hell is a class? But a class is kind of like a chunk of code where you write some attributes and props for certain objects. Let's say everything in JavaScript is an object, which means that an array is an object. Yeah, a string is an object, actually, I think. I know that a type of string will return a string, but string itself is extending all its API functions, like the one that we used right now, like split, from the prototypal functions of strings or of the class string. So therefore, at this moment, what I just said, and it seems like a bit complicated stuff for you to know, it is just a flow of things that you will know or learn recursively with JavaScript. And day by day, it will be, your life will become easier, and then you push them forward, until actually you become good at it. Yeah, I didn't wake up one day and be like, yeah, I know everything about JavaScript. I don't know everything. I may struggle actually with some of these functions that we're trying to solve today. But the thing is that you need to know is that's how it is, right? You wake up every day and you struggle, and you have a problem with something, and then you try to solve it, and then it makes you actually think about it the whole day, and then, I don't know, it becomes a nightmare for some point. But then with time, you become good at it. And I once read something about JavaScript that says that if you choose like to learn programming languages, maybe choose something that exists within its all core knowledge. Like for JavaScript and its core applications, there is actually a possibility for you to create JavaScript in the backend now with Node.js, and JavaScript in the front end, right? So if I can do everything with JavaScript, doesn't it mean actually that I can learn only one language and use it in the full stack, and like the front and the back? And therefore, at that moment, you realize, okay, maybe JavaScript is the best option for me. Because believe me, I saw people learn in C# and then they do the backend part, and then they go to learn JavaScript now to do the front end, right? Which means then they know both. They're probably good at it better than me, because they probably understand more knowledge about computers, more about pointers and this kind of stuff that I never use in JavaScript. But still, it is a good thing to start small, right? And if you want to become really good at it, you need to make a fool out of yourself. You'll sit down and say, hey, I want to build today an application that does this, and that. And you don't know how to do it, and you never did it, and that's how you progress. Believe me, that's how it is. That's the reality of programming. And if you want to do it that way, right? And everywhere you go, you will be thinking about it heavily, and it will stick to your head like that. Yeah. What is your favorite language? Honestly, I think my favorite will be JavaScript, because I just do it every day. But I got introduced to so many programming languages that are really simple, right? I remember the first one that I learned was Pascal, if you know it. Pascal was a very old programming language, or actually syntactic for C. I don't know. I have no idea, because I really forgot everything. And it's really cool. It shows a lot of object-oriented programming as well. Anyway, so is C++ so hard, and what is the nearest language to it? I think anything that starts with C is the closest to it. C, C++, and C#, and Java as well, then next to them. And why? Because they are one of the core languages that use again, what I said it already, object-oriented programming with classes, extensions, inheritance, public, static stuff, a lot of things, right? Hi, Simeon, everybody in the chat. Is programmed with C#. Yeah, I think every game is programmed with C#. Let me put it like that. Every game that you see in your Steam account is programmed with C#. Why? Because that's the truth. I mean, Unity, one of the most known game engines is using C#. I think it can use other languages, but C# is the main one, right? So what the hell? Let's use C#, right? And I know Stardew Valley is one of the actually games that was started by one person, and that person became like one of the most known people in the internet because he just built a computer inside a computer. I think it's really cool. But you can start from simple stuff. And believe me, I saw C# code before of games that are just if else. Especially if you go to dialogue in games, you will find out that every dialogue is just if you say this, say that. If he asks this, say that, and something like that. And it's just plenty of switch cases that are very redundant and very bad. Do you think they didn't make money of that? They did make money. They just posted a good game and people made money out of it. Otherwise, yeah, that's the truth. Yeah. So yeah, I think some guy said that he has a question. I'm waiting for that. I will answer it and then we continue. Someone said, I like computer programming. Where can I start? Very good question. Very good thing to ask. But if you want to learn it for like, you need to say why I need to learn it first. Define your WHs. Why do you want to learn it? Is it because you want to make money? Is it because you want to just have it for fun? If for fun, and also a bit of your head is like, if I become good at it, I will make money out of this, then start with Python, please. Otherwise, if you are more into web development like me, if your core knowledge is just around websites and you maybe touched WordPress before and you said, okay, I like this drag and drop methodology, I wish if I can build a website myself, then go for JavaScript, and therefore you will go on the same path as me. Because for me, I said to myself, hey, how can I actually learn JavaScript, not JavaScript, how can I actually learn to make a website that is full stack with just one language? And here we go, JavaScript. Yeah, want to learn to earn more, then every language is good for you. Start with the basics, start with algorithmics, and then a bit of Leetcoding, and then go for it. Do you have a website I can learn Python? Do you have a website I can learn Python? I think what you're looking for here is a website to learn, to have like learn materials for Python. Yeah, there is plenty. There is really plenty. I mean, start with Front-End Masters, even though that it's more into the front end. They have like a Python course where they talk a bit about Python, and you start like very simple, and you don't be like, wow, I don't have to watch 120 hours. But I think they don't have it available for everyone for free. So start from YouTube and go through it. If you like it, then you can pay for some content. Yeah. Can you make some trading robots? I actually never did that before. I'm not really knowledgeable about what happens with ETFs or graphs or these Boolean charts and whatever. But it's a good thing if we have it. I was thinking that someday I will do like QA where I gather a lot of questions from a lot of people where they ask about certain projects, and I will put them into to-do list and we build them online. So I live stream every day, by the way. So you can come here for 1 hour. We build something together like today, or we talk about JavaScript like today as well, and about programming languages, and we move forward. Yeah, like that. Sure, anybody is actually allowed to ask questions. Why do you always start with can I? You all can ask questions. Please ask. Yeah, Leon, actually I have a big project. I don't want to switch to it right now and just divert from my goal, but the project that I'm working on is a white noises app. I saw that there is this app called Momentum. It gives you white noises to listen to when you study. It's redundant for me because I think they just make you pay for it. I want to make it for free, and my goal is everybody can use my app for free, which is a really noble goal, I think. Yeah. All right. Yeah, a lot of people join. Nice. All right. So I'm streaming actually every day. I have like Twitch. Also, I stream on Kick as well, but under another name. It's Async Stack. Probably I will change this channel's name as well to be the same. So you can search me there as well and know more about it. Yeah. Thank you. Ghostword said, I love this. Yeah, I'm trying to share. I'm going to start in college in February and I want to choose computer science. Please go for it. I mean, if you are really geeky, let's say, if you are into knowing stuff, you know what someone told me before? I think he was in high school and he knew to find stuff. When someone asks, hey, do you know these articles about, I don't know, about Trump, about whatever, he knows how to Google. And they called him Googly or something like that. And that became actually a thing, because if you know where to find your stuff, if you know how to be a geek, how to use computers, how to use, like, even for playing Fortnite or whatever, like, that's cool. I mean, at least you know how to type, right? So start small and go for it, yeah? I literally have no knowledge of it. It's fine. You know what? I had zero knowledge when I graduated. Let me put it like this. So I graduated with zero knowledge of programming. Why? Because I was interested in it more than I learned it. Kind of like that. Yeah, I am doing computer science. I will go and I learn everything that I want to learn. But I didn't learn nothing. I just went there and it became math and stuff, mathematical models. And I was like, what the hell? This is not what I wanted. I want to hack people and, the normal interest. I want to go into server and blow it up and do this and do that. But that's not programming to its core. Yeah. So yeah, I ended up learning nothing at the end. And it ended up actually being one of the worst nightmares. And then when I when I finished everything, I had a void, basically. Hey, okay, I finished my degree. I created my first app in my final project for that year. But what should I do now? I mean, should I go with front-end development? Should I switch to creating LLMs and I don't know, C# stuff and whatever, right? And then it started actually to bug me more until I just started. I started making a stupid website, boom, 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 and then you are having a job. Everybody's interested in you in the terms of interviewing you and stuff like that. And you'll be like, okay, maybe I'm not really lucky. Maybe now I am really good at it. And why do you think I'm good at it? Because I just started and I kept going, right? And I'm not. Yeah. You see, Amir, you asked, you are on my position, let's say 7 years ago or something. I'm 30 years old right now, and I started college at 19, which very actually normal, like the American standard. But usually they started even earlier for me in my country. They can start like 17 or 18. So I started after people when they started already. And whenever they look at me and be like, oh, you speak English or something, because English is not my mother tongue, basically. I speak French and I speak a bit of Arabic as well. So people were like, oh, but how, how do you know all this stuff? Like, how do you know that, I don't know, something happened in China and now they have the new, I don't know, like a new social media or something like that, and it's coded via C# or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just follow tech, right? And I play a lot of Halo at that time. I played a lot of video games. And video games introduce you a lot to programming because they tell you like what to do, basically. If you go this way, something will load. You will probably know notions about programming before anyone, and you don't know. Lazy loading, for example. If you played God of War or a lot of games like Tomb Raider or something, you always have to make it inside like a cave or something that puts you into loading state, and then there is a light, and then you are moving through that cave until you see the loaded screen. So you are lazy loading some data because this data is super heavy. And then it became a thing. Everybody's using it, right? And I played Max Payne, I think, in 2013. That's when I started actually coding. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Where are you from, by the way? I'm actually from a country called Tunisia, or its capital is called Tunis, or Tunis, or in Arabic. And I'm Arab, actually. Yeah. And I grew up there since 18. Then traveled. I traveled to 2 countries, got my degree, and now I'm living in Germany. Yeah. Okay, the getter and setter in JavaScript. In Java. It's not in JavaScript, yeah. You see, my brain is just programmed to understand JavaScript. That's one good, bad thing at it, right? All right, so getters and setters are like this. So if you have a class, and as we said, everything is an object in programming language, that object has some functions, right? And you don't want your function be flowing away, right? You don't want your neighbor to see you showering, basically. So, or maybe if you are into it, I don't know. So what you are doing here is just that you go through these functions and you prioritize them by what you want to make public and what you want to make static and what you want to make private, right? But then you have a new someone coming to the house, which is your kid, for example. You had a kid, and then that kid needs to implement like some behavioral things, like you showering, as I said. So if you want to kind of like give him that and teach him that, you will give him a setter or a getter. Basically, he will take a getter to understand it first until it becomes a setter, and then he just can change it if you trust him enough, right? So you tell him, this is the TV, you can get it, but you cannot change the channel, let's say. So the getter plays the role of what you provide to other classes to do within your class or to use within your class. And the setter is what you can give them to actually set within your class. And it goes from there. I hope this is cool. And this is like very basic. But James, I think that's how you approach this stuff. And you can make analogies with programming as much as you can. They go as if a person having his daily life. And you can actually go through certain motives for some programmers, and you will see that all their motives are human kind of motives, like normal things, like, hey, I wanted to scroll YouTube with one finger. TikTok came like that, and then you can do like swiping, and it's all started because the smartphone came in and someone wanted to dial all his contacts with one finger swipe. So it's just connected. Everything is connected, right? Nice. So let's go to actually test the function that we just did. I think it will throw an error because, yeah, it reversed. That's what we are looking. But it throws this console log because, yeah, I think you can understand it here because we have a console log of toSum here, and this console log doesn't have a function for it. All right. So yeah, this worked. And we did it. I mean, this is kind of like, as I said, is like a very, very basic function. And yeah, it might be that you get asked this in an interview in the future. So maybe go back to this live stream once in, in a while and learn what is in there. Yeah. So, okay, thank you. And one more thing. What can I do with overwrite and interfaces? There's very good questions. Maybe it's more Java related, but I will shoot what I remember, right? Yeah. So overwriting, it seems like you have like a function that actually, or a setter, right? That overrides certain private, maybe property of certain class, and then you give it to somewhere else where you override it and you create something on top of it to have a computation. So basically here you're overriding your value. Interfaces are same as classes, but they are talk more about setting and getting certain of stuff for certain classes, like for example a function to change the color of blue eyes of certain person, and then you will have like a spectrum of colors, and then therefore if you want the person to have that spectrum, then you like inherit that interface. Some guy asked in Arabic, are you Arabic? Yes, I am. Yeah. All right, cool. Nice. All right, let's move on. Let's move on with the next problem here. But let's show you one of the kind of like not very easy problems to do, right? So let me copy this and I'll show you how Vim works. I am actually doing this in Vim. So if I want to kind of like select the 6 lines here, I will do just V, and then I will click 6 and then G to go like that. And then when I click Y, I will copy that. I will go just down, and then when I click P or capital P, it will be pasted on top. I will find word. Actually, I can jump by words. I jumped one word, and then CIW for changing the word, and then I will do toSum. And this is how actually Vim works. It's just a complexity within, like, it's like complex things to remember sometimes, but I think when you get used to it, it's just good. For example, now I want to edit within the brackets. So if I do VI brackets, I will select whatever within the brackets. And if I say VA brackets, I will select the brackets as well. A for around and I for inside. And that's how it goes. I mean, then now I did V, but if I want to change, I will press C. So C inside brackets, and then I will be editing. I will save, I will click I, enter, and then I will be there. Click CC twice for correct indentation, and then I will start. All right, so this is not like moving the mouse. As you see, I didn't move the mouse at all. Yeah, cool. You have an exam these days. All right, wish you all the best, man. Try to kind of like not only like memorize this stuff, try to try them out. They will help you a lot. I mean, if you learn them the hard way, then you will never forget them for sure. This is not VS Code key combinations, actually. This is Vim or NeoVim. And if you're not familiar with NeoVim, it's like a text editor in Linux. So I am using WSL, Windows Substitutional Systems. No, Subsystem Linux. Yeah, L for Linux, S for Subsystem. Yeah. So WSL let you have an instance of Linux inside Windows. Therefore, Windows will stream, and I will have WSL for me. Like minimal kind of guy. I don't want to use 5 computers in my household. All right. Yeah, I wish that answered your question. All right, you got it. Nice. So let's go actually solve this problem. This problem say, let me show you also one of the key things that you can do. So if you press FA, it will jump to the first A. You keep pressing semicolons, and then it's on the next A. I will press I here and just get this into there. And if you are thinking why my functions are like this, or like kind of like not on one line or whatever, what I'm doing actually, I switched to another file now. It's my prettier.rc. I did the prettier.rc file with the minimal configuration that switches my one-lined functions into like very string functions like this, so they can fit in your screen like in mobile, especially for the people that are on TikTok. But if you are on TikTok and you're wondering how can I see his full screen, go to this channel on Twitch. Yeah, I barely forgot that, and search for Async Stack if you have Switch account, or if you have Kick as well. I am streaming at the same time there, where you can see my full screen if you are wondering, right? Cool. What else? Let's continue. So this problem actually says find 2 numbers in an array that add up to the target and return their indices, which means that I have like 2, 7, 11, and 15, and this is my array, and then I need just to return the index of 0, which is 2, and 7. That sums up to B9. And here we know that you will have actually kind of like 2 arguments to use, because the first argument will be the array and the second argument will be basically the target, right? And when you actually write your arguments, try to think ahead what is this stuff that you're typing. So here, if I type an array, and I know it's an array of nums, basically means numbers, I'll just use the argument name as nums, and that won't kind of like confuse me, right, when I'm writing the code. Therefore, then it will be the second argument will be the target, and therefore I will just call it target. Be literal, man. Be just like to the point, right? And that, believe me, it helps. It really helps. Yeah, especially if you return back later to your code and you try to ask yourself, what am I doing here? What did I do in this util function that I created for Netflix or whatever, that reverses a string, passes video ID, and then push the video ID somewhere, gets another hashed value, and then that hash value is used in the URL, and then you have to be authentic. Then you're lost, right? So then just be literal. Just put the arguments as they are, so you know exactly. Sometimes you will find me actually name them like this, like the parsed value, or like the parsed value from inf to Cypress to run certain I don't know, executions or something like certain maybe tests or something like end-to-end tests, and you will find like one value that is just 12 characters or 120 characters, and that's fine. I mean, it's just up to you to name them literally what you think you're doing, so you don't have to forget that. How many years it takes to become a senior dev? I'm currently mid-level dev. Yeah, okay, so for me it took me around 1.5 years kind of like to become good at it, but I did the impossible, like the kind of guy that is in a dark room and trying his best to learn as many stuff as he can, and that's it. Some guy said you are in the early beginnings, my friend. We are all, right? And yeah, you don't know me, so you don't think so. I'm actually a senior dev at Adobe. I am a senior development manager, not manager, but senior developer 4. We have like 4 degrees, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Senior developer number 4, which means the highest ranks at Adobe, the company that does Photoshop and stuff like that. I don't put it in my profile. I never actually disclose this or told, hey, I am there. But yeah, but I'm trying my best to kind of like go easy on these kind of challenges. And let's think together, and that's what I wanted to have here. I didn't want to like come here and solve like LLMs or build DeepSeek again or something like that. Yeah. Any tips on how you practice more? Honestly, I will tell you my tip is just make a fool out of yourself, because when you start learning something that you don't understand, you will feel like, okay, you will have that imposter syndrome. I don't get what I'm doing. Why is it like this? Why my life is shit? Why blah, blah, blah. That happens. Make a fool of yourself. Let people wonder what you're doing, and then you are on the right path. Try as much as you can to actually learn something that you will use in your job. For example, I never learned AWS. Why should I learn AWS when we are using Azure in our stack, basically? And I never learned a lot about YAML files or DevOps or Jenkins or whatever that comes to the DevOps stack, because I'm never interested. I don't even know what is Jenkins, right? I know just JavaScript, and I know JavaScript to the core of it, and I know functional programming to the core of it, and I just want to do that. So if you define your goals, then you will go through them. One thing that helped me a lot is creating side notes or side kind of like projects. One of them that I'm building now is a white noises app. That white noises app helped me a lot to understand the core functions of React. I set like a challenge to myself. I said, I'm not using Redux. I'm not using whatever there for state management tools. I'm going to just use the hooks, right? Even though that the hooks are deprecated in React 19, right? So specializing is key. Think about it as a circle, and you're picking just one path in a circle until you go through it. The thing is that if you go like 2 rayons, like in the circle, then you know a lot of stuff. And there is something to it, like they say, I don't know, like, I don't know, better know nothing than know none. I mean, there is like something about it. There is like this thing that I heard once, like it's good to be knowing all, but you will never master one, or something like that. Yeah, jack of all trades is a master of none. Oh shit, I just put it on the worst thing, the worst worst way ever. Sorry, my English is very bad actually. It's my 3rd language, yeah, after Arabic and French. So you know the hustle, right? And very funny enough, I learned Russian also, and I think my Russian is even now better than my French, because I started to forget a lot of French. Jack of all trades is a master of none. It's master of none, but better know one thing that know none, right? Something like that. That's what I heard before. Yeah, cool. Then let me not actually go don't talk too much and forget about my my goal here. So what we're going to do, actually, to know that we are finding the 2 numbers in the array that sum up to a target, is to create a map. The maps are like setters, but they are really good to access. So I'm using a map here instead of an array, because it has the has kind of function to it, that if I do map.has, it's a really good method that will tell me, do I have that in my list of targets or not? For example, if I have my target is 9 and then I do my item from the nums array, which is, for example, here 7, and I try to do 9 minus 7, and that 9 minus 7 will come to 2, and then therefore I will know that my current item is 2, and that at that moment I can sum these two and become 9, and then I will exit directly. So the map will help me a lot here. All right, I have a lot of questions there on TikTok, so I'm trying to work and kind of at the same time answer these. So if I didn't answer a question, I'll answer them, okay? Is a new map a shallow clone? Kind of, yeah, it is. So let's go. So here I will go actually simple and use a for loop. I think I have a for snippet ready for me to use. Right, nice. So here I will call it I as all, and this will be the nums array, I suppose. And why I did this? Because actually I think this is how I'm going to access the nums, each num value. And this is really cool to do this this way. Then therefore you will understand what I'm gonna type easier. So what I'm gonna do here, each time I am going through an item, I will try to calculate the difference, which means that I am having a difference between the target and the nums of the array. Well, basically, how can I write that? I will call this diff, right? And I will cc this, and it will be target minus the nums of the I, basically. So here, as you see, we will find out that the difference will be 9 minus 2, which is 7 actually. So that's a good thing to start with. Oh my gosh, like it looks very bad. Let me just make this maybe 40. Let's see how that looks. Okay, better, right? Yeah, better than before. All right, the print width helps me to actually make you see the screen better. All right, cool. All right, so what can chat think that will be next? After I actually do the diff, what do you think I should search for now or do as a next step? I will hear you. I'll see what you guess. What are your guesses? Yeah. So let's see what the chat thinks. I will see also, I have Twitch open and also Kick and also YouTube, but I'm not checking too much. I'm not very active as in TikTok. I really love TikTok for this. Yeah, thank you TikTok for the support. At least they don't let you pay to get attention. Nice. All right. So yeah, not so many people commented actually the solutions. Okay, not a problem. I will continue with this just to make it simpler. What I'm gonna do next is to check if my map actually has that nums of I, right? And the problem here that I'm trying to solve is just, okay, I said 9 minus 2 is 7, but do I have that 2 already in my map? If not, then I will kind of push it, right? And this is kind of like how you start thinking when you solve problems. You just say, hey, actually, here I made a mistake. I'm just going to actually search for the difference, right, in that map. And that will even make it better, because if I have that difference before, then therefore I know that I have already one of the two values to use, therefore one of the indexes to return. All right, cool. So what do you think I will put next? The value in the num isn't supposed to be higher than the target for the logic for the addition. Could be yes, could be no. That's why we are using maps here, because we will always split the difference and put it somewhere else. So then therefore we will be able to always have like a value to compare it with, like the value of diff to compare it with whatever the map has. Will you store the values in a variable? Yes, that's actually what I'm gonna do. I will actually just simply for the sake of it, I will return directly here, because if I know that the map has that difference, which means that I already mapped through the first value of the first element, and then therefore I am on the second. So therefore here I have all what I need, right? So what I'm going to do here is just like a hard guess. I will just go map.get, and I know this will return the diff, right? It will return actually the index. Actually, I'm not sure about this one, but let's do it this way and then see if that will work. Yeah, I think map.get will return the index of the difference. No, the index of the element. What? Yeah, okay. So the map here will give the value and the index. So each time we actually store a value in a map, it will also store its index. So therefore we can do with .get, we get just the index and we return it to the user. Otherwise we set it, and that's what we're going to do here. So map.set, I think, yeah, and that will be the, I need to think about this one, the nums to e. Yeah, this will be the nums of I and I. Yeah, you see, that's what I said. Basically, the map will always take the value and its index, so therefore we can get like this. All right, I mean, I think it's done like this. I actually not sure. What do you think? Should I return like another value for just security part? Okay, I will return an empty array unless we don't find any targets, basically. All right, let's test that out. And then look again. All right, that's cool. It worked. Okay, so don't see this error because this is the next function. So I didn't define the function first. But this returned 0 and 1. Actually, it's correct. Let me test it out again. So basically, if our target is 18, it should be return 1 and 2, right? All right. So I will actually go in control A this one until 18 and see if that will fix anything, or maybe that will return 1 and 2. Yeah, it returns 1 and 2. Then we are correct, actually. So what we did here, so we have the map to store the value and the index, and that's what I did here. Each time we calculate the difference, we see if the target minus the value from the element of the array is equal to something. If that mapper has it, if the mapper has that value anyway, or has that difference, therefore we return the map.get of that difference. We get basically the index of the first value and then the index of the current value, and then therefore if not, then we set it, and then if we are on the third option where we don't have anything, we return an empty array. All right, cool. We solved it. I think all good, right? I don't think that there will be a vulnerability in this one. All right, cool. Never understood to get and set concept. Yeah, I mean, I already forgot about it until now. The thing is, what I said is that it stores like a value with its index. It's because I went back thinking about what is the prototypal function of get and set in map. And then I remembered also that an object is a key and value, but if you don't set the key, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be also eyes, basically. Make explained with event listener. Are you asking what are event listeners? Sorry for that. Yeah. Could this have been solved also using filter to do the loop? Yep. But yeah, as we have in the chat, people who are not familiar with API functions, then therefore we are using for. Let me show you an example where you actually use just API functions. All right. So I think our friend here who's commenting in the chat, am I saying your name wrongly? I'm saying Jiva for DZ is G, right? I'm just asking, or is it Zifa? You can tell me how I can say it, so that will be proper when I call you. All right, so we will use an API function for intersection. Let's go for this one. So ZT for here, and let's solve this one with filter functions and see how it goes, right? So yeah, all right, All right, cool. Then I am correct. So yeah. Any more questions? Event listeners are just basically also API functions or the DOM elements that you can use in terms for you to actually add a clickable event or hover an event or anything, any type of event that is available for you in JavaScript. And then you append to it a callback function. That callback function will execute whenever you actually achieve that event. As simple as that. Yeah. All right. So let's go for this one. Find the intersection of two arrays. And what else? And find the intersection of the two arrays. That's it, right? Common elements with duplicates. Ooh, this is cool. Without duplicates. All right. So you have, let me just think about it for a bit. I don't want to overcomplicate it. So here I have a function called intersection. That is equal to anonymous function. I think my LSP is broke. If you're wondering what is an LSP, it's a way to kind of like make your own programming alerts inside new Vim. So here what I'm going to do, okay, I will do yeah, so here I will call this one nums1 and nums2. By the way, user numbers and arguments are really not very common in JavaScript. You rather not use them like that, but you can still do it anyway, and it can still work. But for me, I wouldn't rather for you to use them. But yeah, overall, people still do that, and it will not break your code. By implication of an inner loop. Well, now you went away from what we should do. What I wanted to do here is actually to show some of the stuff that you can use, which is, you can say unique nums1, but this is a very bad name for that. I will call it set1, and that will show you where I'm going. And when you go new set of wherever in nums1, actually, I'm spreading it for some reason. I don't need to spread it. And then I will just yank this and paste it again and call this 2 and find the other one and replace it with 2. Here I will just have unique values. And funny enough, I will have them, I'm not sure. I will have them in an array formats. I think not. But in term for me to actually make this an array, I can, instead of returning a set here, I can encapsulate all of this inside a bracket, right? And then I can, oops, what I'm doing, I can spread this, right? Then therefore, if I console log this, I will just try it for fun. Console log this. It should return a set of an array that is just 1 and 2, right? So now this is a spread array, but this is still a set, by the way. This is still a set. This is a spread array, and both of them has unique values. But now we will do what Jifa wants, and she wants to use filter, right? And then filter works actually in this case. You just take, yeah, I will just call this spread, okay, spread. And then this one will be like that, spread set1, just for the sake of it, and this to make sure that we are actually going into the direction of using array. And then I could use that spread here and filter it directly. So I would say spread set1, and why it's not working, dot filter, and this will be a snippet. Oh, look at that, I didn't know. I can actually VW here. Let me do a V inside word. I will delete this. Yeah, V inside door, I'll delete it. and I will just yank it here, right? No, it doesn't work. Bad. I'll just write it again. So spread set1, right? All right. So what should we do here? I think we just need to check if the set here, and why I left this as a set, to say to use here set2.has function, which is also in the map as well, and I would say filter only these that the other array has, right? And therefore it will work. What is my mistake here? Do anybody knows my mistake? What I just did right now is a simple mistake, and I think one of you can know it if you are familiar with JavaScript. This JavaScript, by the way, not Java. I'm answering here one of the people's in the chat. Yeah. So this is JavaScript. Yeah. I did a typo. Maybe not. Maybe not. The const name is spelled wrong. Am I? No. Am I? Is this const? Ah, yeah, maybe. Where is my other consts? I can go like search for consts because. All right. Next. No, they are cool actually. Next. Intersection. Next. Okay, good. W and H. All right. I will just ZT here. All right. So it's not the const. Come on, guess again. I did a mistake. Not a mistake. I forgot to do something, and it's here. Here, exactly here. I will type R. And it's something that is on my screen right now, and it has a color of purple, if I'm not mistaken. Const spread set. Ah, okay. So spread set is wrong. I mean, cannot find name. Oh yeah. You are right. Yes. I mean, that also. All right. So let's be inside word here. Copy this one, and here's I go ahead and correct that. Also here. You're right. My LSP is correct. But here, what we forgot actually is to return. Why? Because this is something that you guys need to know. Is that if you want to return directly, don't use brackets. Therefore, and also you delete word. Oops, I deleted the whole one line. I'll just exit. Then therefore this will work. And if you want also to maybe make it even cleaner, you just put it on one line. So you take all of this here, you go here and you paste it, and therefore it will be even better. You delete this one, and then your function will go back to its original state. Why? Because I have here 40. If I go 140 and then go back, it will just be like that, right? Which is cool. All right, let's take this number 10, and I will delete all of it and then go on top, and I will just yank it on top, so we will have it to console log directly, right? So that was a mistake. So here what we did is just we kind of like made two sets, and we know that sets use this has. If we made them all both like arrays, basically this will be includes, right? And includes is a method used for determination if you include you have that included in your array or not. But set seems better because set never accepts duplicates or double values or whatever. So here it will console log here an array, but if I console log the set, I don't know what it will return, but we will know together, right? So node. So you see this here is actually very cool because this is the set and how it returns, and this is the array and what it returns. Very cool, actually. Very good. Very good. All right, why it did return undefined? For sure, because I think I didn't put an a return function here. Clear. Yeah. So here it returns only 2, right? Why is that? Something is wrong probably that we did, or no? What do we have? Oh yeah, sure, it's correct. So the only thing that we have here is 2. So if we replace this with 1, and then go and return the same thing and try again. It will return 2 again. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I am panicking. No, I'm not actually. Let's try. Yeah, now it's 1 and 2. So I didn't save. So 1, 2. Nice. Cool. Works as a charm. So this is where kind of let's make it very clean. Let's go to here. I will try to remember what is it called? Semicolon, whatever. I forgot. Semicolon or semicolon something. Actually, I will go and search it in another project. CD, maybe white noise. Yeah, the white noise project always saves me. And I will grep if there is like ls. Yeah, I will think prettier is there. Cat prettier. Yeah. So single quotes and then semi. It's just semi, so I'm correct. Okay, I will use semi and the bracket spacing, probably not. Semi and single quotes. Semi and single quotes. All right. Let's go back to where we were. I think here and cd training. Opa, nice. Here I will just add that, and I will show you why I'm doing this, just to make like things more pretty. I think false, right? And for semi should be false as well. Yeah, okay. And now if I save this, look what happened. So basically what happened is that you see this semicolon here will just disappear, well, which is cool for you to kind of like see cleaner code basically. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Actually, did I actually delete the I deleted the values and left the console log, so what a mess. All right, so let's write them back very quickly. So what we did here, we did like const, we called it spread set, which is equal to the spreaded, the new set of nums1. And then the other const is like set2, which is the directly a new set, which why we did this, to just see the difference between the API functions. Yeah. So that's how it is. All right, chat. Let me answer your questions. All right. Show ESLint config and explain it. Very good question. I will show you an example. All right, but let's go step by step. Didn't note set never accepted duplicates. Yeah, it never does that. Yeah. Some guy said he's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. It's the same. Jifa, thank you very much. Yeah. So show ESLint config. I'll show you that. Is this Java? No, it's JavaScript. Which program is this? Which programming language, I suppose, is JavaScript. But which program is that? It's NVim, used for text editing, but I have like some configuration for it that makes it like an editor. Yeah. Cool. So I see that 30 people are watching in TikTok. That's really a good number for someone who's just talking about software. Good. Nice. So let's go and answer one of the questions very fast for ESLint stuff. I think I have a project, should be right, with ESLint in it. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I will explain you what I know about ESLint, right? So this project does TypeScript. So if you are using TypeScript, then therefore your ESLint will start with anything TypeScript lint configured already from TypeScript ESLint class. And then you open the config like this. You ignore some folders. You don't want to watch over the whole folders. Imagine if you have here also a test folder. Let's say also, let's say Cypress maybe for end-to-end. Yeah. And then you want to extend something. And usually you extend plugins basically. And you would say, hey, I will extend every config that I see recommended for ESLint. And in this part, you will probably some of the configuration like DOM functions, API functions, and how they accept, like for example, parse int or parse float or whatever. These actually functions that can take a regex, and that regex or radix or whatever needs to be in a specific format. So you're taking all this information and actually making them into like a rule set, right? You are a complete beginner. I don't understand anything here, but I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, man. I'm just helping and trying to help. Right. All right. So TS-Link configs, the same with GS stuff. And then you go to your files. Usually here, if you have a very big project, you'll find GSX as well. You'll find GS, you'll find JSON. Usually nothing more than these stuff. You see now when I saved, actually it got linted. So my double quotes turned into one quote, which is really cool. All right, so it took this because this is a GS file and it wouldn't lint it before, I think, if I save, or Prettier will lint it anyway. Yeah. So here you say which kind of ECMAScript version you are doing, and ECMAScript is basically what you are trying to actually achieve. If I say, for example, hey, create a function that is a functional programming class or something like that, and you create it as a class, then the funny part is that that class will get created in ECMAScript 16 by default, I think, which is basically a lot of upper functions that will get created by default on the build. But when you say 2020, it will get reduced. When you say 2024, it gets even reduced more because each year they introduce a newer way to do stuff, right? So, yeah, someone asked, ESLint configurations are for the IDE code format, and it's an extra nice to know. Yeah, also, it does that. It can help. You can set up some rules. Here, I have this rule like no escaped entities off and React props to be off. You know what happens? What I actually recently knew, I will go into my GitHub. You won't see it on my screen, but I think if you ever want to learn this, you should learn it. I have like a repo called 24 boilerplates, which is 2024 boilerplate, for me at least. And then if I go to the client and then I go to ESLint again, I set up this rule that saved my life, you know. It's called, where is it? I think it is global, like globals maybe. I think it's there, right? Is global? Yeah, it's here. So basically what I did with this globals browser global node, you know, some of the functions like object or group by function that is available in the browser but not a node, and the opposite vice versa. These are actually functions that you might find in the browser with the V8 engine, but not you find with Node sometimes, because fetch will work in the front but not work in the back end, so you need to use Axios and stuff like that. So with this kind of stuff, you will be able to actually import stuff from the browser and also stuff from Node itself, and then there your ECMAScript will even become more powerful. Who knows what is this one here? React no escaped entities. It's one of the best ones. You lost a dot. Did I? What do you mean by that? I actually don't know. Okay, I returned everything so I don't actually edit the file and then cry because I don't know what I edited. How do you recommend to learn code without GPT? Just by doing. And I know that it's kind of like very vague to say, yeah, learn just by doing. But it's the best way. And how is that? I recently found that I don't know how to write a debouncer in React, like the use debounce hook. What a use debounce hook does is just whenever you put an input into your, you put a text into your input, and that text will go with a fetch request to the backend. Each character you type will do a fetch. So you will end up, if you write 20 characters, you will end up with 20 fetches. But you want to have a debouncer that each time you type starts a timer. If you type the next character within that timer, then it won't fetch, it won't do anything, it will wait for you. The thing is that I didn't know how to write it alone. I couldn't do it So I wrote it alone and I learned it, and that's what I said by doing, because if I didn't specify time where I will just learn that and do it myself, I would never do it myself. I would just go to ChatGPT and ask for it. And start small, right? Start with small stuff and go further. Matty the Kid, hi man. Emily, what do you code here? We are actually playing with some JavaScript, and we are trying to do Leetcode actually, but now we are just explaining the TS-lint. So I asked the question, who doesn't know what is the no escaped entities of? All right, so the no escaped entities, you know, in React, sometimes you do a JSX component and then you want just a space and then you do another component. So it just puts like two braces and an empty space in them. That's the escaped entities. You turn it off and then you can have as many spaces as you want. And therefore you won't have very ugly code. I don't know. This is just for people who are used to React, right? I don't know if I have that. But if I go maybe to components, add nose component, and I just go to a normal div here, and I want to do a space, and I'll put like something else, maybe, I don't know, 2. And maybe here have that space. Okay, now no escape entities. So if I had not that value, it will just do this. Yeah, which you see here, it just got deleted. So if I do now, show you again how it gets deleted. Yeah, whoops, and then that's it. You can do spaces as much as you want, right? Nice. Otherwise it would be like this. And then I remember my boss looking at this. They were like, why did you put this? And I'm like, I didn't put it. It just generated by default. And I'm like, but how can you delete it? And I was like, I don't know. And everybody actually started to scream at each other. But yeah, no, honestly, my boss is very cool. But yeah, you had that a lot. Now you know how, right? That's it. So let's go back. Cd tac, and then learning, I think, training. Yeah. All right. Cool. So we did that spread thingy. Let's do another one and then call it a day. Yeah, let's do this one. Valid parentheses. No, not this one. This one seems a very complicated one to do now. Miss a number also is a bit complicated. Count prime is a bit complicated. I think these are the middle kind of to senior ones. But let's do this one. Let's do print numbers from 1 to n. If divisible by 3, print fizz. I'll just go to F and then I will just do this for you to see. If divisible by 5, print buzz. If divisible by both, then print fizz buzz, right? Again, let's read it like this so you can see it. Oh, what I'm doing, I will just go here and create the function at least for us to start. Why my LSP doesn't let me create anonymous functions? What a bummer. All right, so how do we approach this? Come on, chat, think. Come on, I need you to think and tell me already what to return here. I'll return true for now. All right, let's read your comments. Let's show that. What should we show? AI replacing this shit. Yes, AI replaces this. Probably will replace me in some years, but not really. Come on, let's not be very deceived by AI. Modulo. That can help. That can help. What language is this that can be done with Modulo? It's JavaScript. Nice. Everybody knows Modulo. And what are you doing, sir? I am actually trying to code with you and do some lead coding at the same time. So yeah, it can be solved with Modulo, but how can we approach this? How can we do it? How can we say, yeah, this uses Modulo, but what should we start with? Should we put some conditions? Should we start with number 3 directly? What should we do? I will listen to your cases and then solve it. Should we do a for loop, a reducer? What do you think? For loop will be the easiest for sure. We can do it in a for loop and start from there, right? Good. Then we do that. All right, cool. Let's do it. Spanish. Some guy in Kick said, "Are you speaking Spanish?" No, I'm not speaking Spanish. English, man. English. For a second, I thought that I'm speaking Arabic, and he got it as a Spanish, but I'm speaking English now. All right. So, as always, result equal that, or what we call in JavaScript temp, right? But for the sake of it, I will just return it as a result. Temp for temporary, basically. All right, for loop. Let's call this y. So that would be good. Yeah. So now const element is array. That's nice. Let's leave it. Yeah. So what should we do to that element? Each time we have it that it's modeled by 3 and 5. We just return fizzbuzz, right? For me, what you are doing here is quantum physics. No, man, you shouldn't say that. I will ask for a salary increase tomorrow for just that. I would say someone in my chat thought that I'm doing quantum physics. I need 200k a year. Yeah, you can sit down and maybe even just bring something to drink or whatever and watch quantum physics. It's actually not that hard. You can understand. We're just doing logic here. JK said that he just started to learn HTML. That's really good. I wish you the best. And I think I'll ask Jifa here. She said that she's doing React as well. What do we say when HTML and JavaScript and CSS, what are they for coding? We say HTML is the names, JavaScript is the verbs, and CSS are the basically the what do you call these, adjectives? Yeah, adjectives. Yeah. GC78. This is JavaScript. We are just doing JavaScript. Yeah. Yeah. And we are trying to solve like simple issues and doing them into like Leetcode programming stuff. So we solved a few of them. I'll just take this one above, just for the sake of it. We solved the interaction part. We'll put it here after that one, and I will save. I will create like a space here, and let's go like that. Yeah, cool. Hopefully everything is visible. So what we have, let me just take also this and put it on top. Fizzbuzz function, the goal of it, if you give it like numbers from 1 to n, I gave it like 15 here, which means that it will count from 1 to 15, right? Should be, because here 15 returned fizzbuzz, which is modeled basically or divisible by 5 and 3 at the same time. If it's divisible by 3, it should be fizz. If it's divisible by 5, it should be buzz. So not complicated that much. We can actually delete this one here, and we just do an if, right? How actually are you guys familiar with itinerary? We will write one like a normal if, and then we will do the other one, right? So I have a problem here. I see like here it should be num, right? Therefore here we don't have an array, so we have to spread that array, right, from 1 to, that's really cool actually. Or we just do it to num, right? Yeah, therefore we just count from 0 or from 1 to 15. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that seems safe, right? And yeah, then I did a mistake. Here should be equal. Yeah, and if you're wondering why it's like this, I'm using Fira code, which is like a very good font that makes these characters possible. Yeah. Okay. The 5 part. If modulo 3 print buzz, if modulo 5 is print buzz. Is modulo 0 print buzz? Yeah, that's correct for 5. And F3 print fizz, not buzz. Yeah. What editor is this? Vim? Yes, it's new Vim. GC78 said Python. No, that's JavaScript, but we can use Python. Yeah. And yeah, I actually didn't forget length, because now we are not given an array, we are given a number, right? So what would I do here? I forgot that I have condition here. So if E is modeled by 3, and that's equals 0, and let's start by the opposite. Say let's start that it's modeled by 0 and modeled by 5, right? Yeah, this is why Vim is good, because I can go here and say word, copy, and then go to the latest bracket that I have, for example here, and I would say just B, right? And if I want to get back, I will just do capital F3. Oops, capital F3, it's not working. Capital F3, yes, and then replace this by 5, or even do it the stupid way, which is to click A twice, or XX for actually going down. All right, cool. So if this is both, then result.push, and this is fizzbuzz, right? Yeah. Right. Then you know what we're gonna do. It's just like multiple ifs here, and we can do the second one in just one, basically. But for the sake of it, I will do it as an else if. Yeah. How to be clever like why? What do you mean? Hello. How to start Leetcode? I don't have DSA background. I mean, like me, I didn't have a lot of Leetcode experience. I just started. I think one of the things that I did is that I went for simple API function learning. Like I learned a lot about arrays. I learned a lot about strings, as you saw here. If I go back, first problem that we solve is actually to reverse a string, which is splitting, reverse, and joining. Splitting is for strings basically that returns them into an array, and then reversing is actually an API function for arrays, and then joining, which is an API function also for arrays. Yeah, and then this will return automatically string, right? Yeah, cool. Anyway, let's do this. Else if. Yeah. Am I writing else if wrongly? Yeah, I should give it space. I will copy this one. And then delete this one. Oops. Like that. This should be 5. Fizz, right? And buzz. Yeah, I think this is correct. What is missing? Come on, chat. Something missing here? What is missing? You are obviously a PC gamer, use only your keyboard. Yes, actually. I do PC games a lot. Also play a lot of FIFA on Xbox, and I play also on PlayStation, and I have a Nintendo Switch, and I never get outside of my home. You can put it like that. I'm just a geek, I think. Yeah, we forgot the return statement. Come on, Jifa, show some respect to the code. I know that you're really good, but you're kind of like missing out on whenever I ask a question. Okay, I know what you're doing. Thank you, man. All right, then give a follow. All right, so here we forgot to return the results, basically. Yeah. Let's check if this works. Do I have nvim in both of them? Okay, I'll quit this one at least. And let's test it out. Let's test it out. It's just node challenge.js and boom, boom, boom. Nice. Fizz, buzz, fizz, buzz. but these are not 15 numbers, right? Fizz buzz, fizz fizz buzz, fizz buzz. Yeah, correct. Because it just, yeah, it won't put else than fizz buzz. But let's make it fun though. Let's achieve what Jifa actually said. We put another else if, and I'll just copy it from here. Should I just copy it like that? Okay, I'll just put it again like that. Delete this one, and then it will work. And then if not, else we will return something else. Come on, what word should we return instead of something that rhymes with buzz or fizz buzz or fizz? If nothing, then we return something, right? Are you using Vite? I usually use Vite, yeah, but this is not Vite. This is just like a file that I'm running with Node, just a typical file. Yeah. This is a Node algo, right? Yeah, it is a Node one. We can fix something that is more complex. I did one that is a bit complex, which is this one here for the two sums. I felt like, yeah, it's a bit complicated. The chat is not following that much, so I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go something small. Yeah. Is this Python? No, it's JavaScript. This is trash, Lowell. Come on, sure, it's trash, man. Come take my job. Websites or sources you would recommend for learning Java? Complete beginner, by the way. Java, I really like what is in LinkedIn Learning for Java, because you will find out. All right, that's a good name. Piz, let's do it. All right. All right, so then if we just do it again, then yeah, you see it. It's all pizzes everywhere. I don't know what does that mean. I hope that it's not a bad word in some language. C'est quel genre de codage? C'est du JavaScript, mon gars. Is this Python? No, it's JavaScript. Use switch case, newbie. For sure, I can use a switch case. Yeah, I can even not use a switch case, you know, to show you that I'm pro. I can use nothing of API functions and still show something. Haskell's too difficult. How do I know if I should learn JS or Python? Yeah, so sorry that I actually interrupted by actually answering the question of one of the guys who asked where can he learn Java, and he's a beginner. You can start actually with LinkedIn Learning, but I think you can find why I said LinkedIn Learning, sometimes they give for free some of the courses, and you can do a LinkedIn account for free as well. And Java, there you can have, it's your choice. You can go to Udemy and learn 60 hours of Java heavily if you are up for it, but what about 5 hours maximum just to understand the basics? And that's the kind of courses you will find in LinkedIn. Otherwise, YouTube for sure. Yeah. Isn't C# easier? Yes, it is. It is easier than C maybe, but equal to Java and any OOP language, like object-oriented programming languages. Yes, I think coding is a maze, but all leading to the same out. Correct. I mean, we just call this synthetic sugar. It's just that you have something written differently than the other person, but it just does the same. Unless you're coding Python, because a lot of API functions are actually there for you to use, like summon up an array or something like that. We do it with the reducer. Let me show you an example. Okay, I will just go to the same folder, it's fine. Okay, so let's do this like pros, right? So how to sum up an array in JS? Anybody knows? Anybody knows that? We will use a reduce function here. Equal, let's imagine that we have an array and then a reduce. a reduce function actually is very pretty function. It takes a callback function and it takes initiator. You will always start reducing by 0 if you are actually doing a sum. You don't want to start with I don't know, like 1 or -1 or whatever. In this case, we are just starting with 0, and then add in anything from that callback function. And how do you write this callback function? It will just be like this. Yeah, I'll put it usually as a anonymous function, and it will take a current, and no, it will take an accumulator and a current, right? So the thing is about this accumulator, oh man, I'll just put some more spaces here and also on top for you to actually follow call. This accumulator starts as 0, right? So whatever you put here is your accumulator, right? And we can even get rid of these two just to return directly. We say accumulator plus current, which means each time, again, I have like a very bad muscle memory. I press each time the linting keys. All right, so basically here what I'm doing is just adding whatever the current is each time I run through the array. So the array will have 1, 2, 3. The first one will be like 0 plus 1, and then 0, and then 1 plus 2, and then 3 plus 3, which is 6 at the end. So this is how you do it. Oops, let me just fix this issue with TikTok. TikTok, you have actually to update that you are streaming every hour, so it does know that you're not a robot or something like that. I'm not sure why. But in Python, I think array.sum and you're good. I mean, I don't know if this exists, right? But I am 100% betting that that's how it is. Yeah. But yeah, so pick this or that, what you see better for you, right? What you teaching? I'm doing JavaScript, mate. Again, he asked the same question, dude, what you teaching? I'm doing JavaScript, mate. Learning reducer might have been one of my biggest struggles in GS. Yes, but I hope that I explained it better. What do you inherit that shows the definition? I didn't understand actually your question here. No, in GS we have another API function called sum, right? Okay, let's create this array, right? Const array equal, and let's do it. 1, 2, 3, so we wait to have 6, right? So the thing is here is that if we do const sum and then console log that sum, yeah, and then let me show you this. All right, so with this one you say I have something. It's kind of like I like to say something because that's what I like, say it in my head like, or maybe define it in my head like. It says like if I have that, or maybe if my array includes something, you can actually replace all of this with include. Or you say if some element in my array is equal to 2, then I will return true, right? This actually will return true. The only thing here, I think we need to put it inside the console log, yeah. Hopefully that will work, yeah. And let's see what that returns. Yeah, so here you see 6 and then you see true. So it's not the same. It just sounds the same, yeah. Are you a software engineer, sir? Yes, I am. What else? What do we have? Seems different. Wish I became your best friend. I'm a beginner JavaScript. Man, it's fine. You can come here every day. We are doing JavaScript live streams every day. Please explain refresh token. Oh wow, that's a good question. What's the difference between Java and JavaScript? Yeah, I can give you one example and one reason why they are different. How are you a nerd and can still teach? My senior dev is a gatekeeper. Yeah, I think I have. Hi there, Melly. I will explain to you one thing about me. I always wanted, when I was a kid, to be a teacher, and then I hated it, kind of, because sometimes you cannot introduce this, like you cannot explain your thoughts. And then when I became good at this, I decided to teach it for free, because I feel like there's a lot of people that comes to you on LinkedIn, and we all know these people, like comes to you with, I don't know, talks about chocolates or about like what happens politically in USA or wherever, and he's a senior developer in Amazon, and you'll be like, okay, but how this guy is there? I mean, I don't understand. He never talked about GS. He just owned his position by just talking shit about something, or by owning some money and versing them into, like, I don't know, a board, and then they just kept him there or something like that. So I found out that people also who know stuff, they just make you pay, right? And a lot of people cannot pay, basically. So I decided to stream, and I decided to share knowledge for free. And actually all my apps that I'm building, that I'm gonna build in these live streams, are going to be for free. So everybody gets free knowledge, everybody learn. So that's my motive. Do you have a website, or do you teach? I tried teaching in universities in Africa, actually. I went to North Africa, one of the countries, and I actually started a university teaching session for 2 days. I do this once a year, or once or twice a year, where I go there and I teach them a lot of stuff about JavaScript, and it worked. And I even give them internships in my small company, and they can build stuff with me, which is really cool. I mean, for the sake of it, I don't pay them, it's free, but they're going to learn a lot. Like, I remember hiring someone, not hiring, but getting an intern someone who does know nothing about JavaScript. Ended up one of the contributors for high charts, which means that he did understand his stuff. And whenever he says, I don't know, I say, use ChatGPT. It's fine to use ChatGPT, it's fine to understand, but at least learn it. And I learned it with him, and he started to type shitty code, and I accepted that shitty code to go into a PR. It's fine to pull request that into your base. It's shitty code, but it still works, right? If he leaves one day, I will refactor it, but at least I give him some credibility. He feels like he means something, right? And therefore they learned a lot, and I think I don't owe anybody anything, but I always have these people following me on Instagram and stuff, saying, hey, I heard something good about you, or something like that, which is really cool, because because that's the spirit. Do you specialize in particular technology application? Yeah, I specialize in React, Next.js sometimes. Not that good, but I do the T3 stack, kind of like Prisma, Tailwind, TRPC, Next.js, and React. When will you have a class for beginners? Actually, you know what? I will build a form for that, and I will put it in my bio. And anybody who wants to attend, like MERN stack development courses, if I have 10 people in a course or something, I'm able to do 2 hours a week or 1 hour a week for free, whenever, for like a whole year. And we share knowledge, and I teach them stuff just for the sake of it. But if anybody wants to support or something like that, or he wants to pay or anything, you have the subscription button in here, in TikTok, or in Twitch, or in Kick, all the platforms that I stream at, and you can just subscribe. What I do, some guy asked, are you a software engineer? Yes, I'm a software engineer, usually a contractor. I work with 2 companies now, one of them being very known, which is Adobe. I focus on one of their technologies for building stuff from scratch. I build them like frameworks like jQuery, for example. We have a framework, I can say it, I think it's very known. It's called Spectrum for CSS. I work on that, and I work on other stuff. You are also learning MERN right now. That's really cool, man. That's really awesome. MERN is go for it. I will give you like a secret hint. If you do MERN, like if you do MERN stack, and you learn a bit about 10 stack query, and like sprinkle it with a bit of Tailwind, like you will become the best of the best. Nice, cool. Let's solve another problem and call it a day. So now we solved many. Yeah, nice. So yeah, so I explained to you this. Maybe I'll explain to you more of the API functions for arrays. Okay, you know what? I will give the chat the possibility to think about a solution for one of the functions. Please no ChatGPT, guys. Okay, so we have toSum here. We did that one, yeah, right? But I just took it upstairs. Okay. Missing number 2. This is also a bit complicated. Yeah, let's do this one. Merge sorted arrays. Is this? Yeah, this is simple. All right. So what we will do, we will take this upstairs. Okay, I will take this like that, and we will try to solve it after. Okay, let's try to make it the first one. But no problem about that. This will teach you sort API function. So what you need to do is to order the arrays basically after you merge them. But how will you merge them? I will listen to you guys. Okay. Yes, it's to order them. Yeah, sort them, order them, and you need to specify which order direction basically. Yeah. All right, let's hear you guys. Let's see what you think. What language? Any language. Python, JavaScript, do whatever, right? And paste it in the chat. Maybe if you don't even know how to do it, just paste like, I don't know, like logic. Say, hey, I want to spread this, do this, sort this, and that's it. Yeah, you can use sort for sure, but you are sorting 2 arrays into one, right? So let me go back. You are sorting this and this array, right? Let me create the function for you. I'll just pick one function from here and just rename it, right? And instead of, yeah, nums1 and nums2 are arrays. And I will return true for now. And intersection will be merge sorted arrays. Come on. So you have first array, second array, you will make them one array and then sort them. And sort, yeah, sort actually will work as intended. Yeah, okay, cool actually. What this easily sort by PHP. Yes, PHP will easily sort. Also JavaScript will easily sort. Yeah, have you ever made a Minecraft mod? No. I remember I worked on one mod once. It's called oh, wait a second, someone subscribed. Oh, what the hell? Right, I cannot see it in the chat, so I'm really sorry if I cannot say a name, but thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. That's really nice. You're my first subscriber ever. Okay, so why I said that? Because where actually you are from? Oh my gosh, I'm from Tunis, yeah, and that's in North Africa, and I speak Arabic, or also a bit of French. Speaking French, bro. Ok, je vais parler en français dès maintenant. All right. I'm in Germany, from Ghana. Yeah, and I live in Germany as well. I'm here since 2021. Yeah. Alright, a lot of comments I cannot keep up. Crest's new array and push the elements of both array into the new one, then sort it out. Yes, Shrifa, you are the best student from now on. Easily sort by HP. That's correct, Eagle. That's correct. Yeah. So so I will just explain it, what we are gonna do here. Anybody knows the spread operators in JavaScript? We have something called spreading, which is basically to do this, const both arrays, let's call it like that. And you can do it like this. You want it to be in one array, you will spread nums1 and you will spread nums2. This is equal to flattening array. You can say also that's flattening. But then what you will do is just dot sort But then sort needs some arguments in JavaScript. Actually, you can say A, B, right, for both comparable values, and you say A minus B, which is the normal sort. Yeah, if you say here, for example, let's see that we say B minus A, it will go the other direction around, right? So what we want to do here, I'm not sure, will this be sorted into a new, I will just sorted array, just put it into a new constant just to be safe. And or you can skip the hustle and just do return, right? You delete everything here, you delete this line, and just you put a return here, and then therefore it will work for you. The moment I actually test this, we will see the difference. So here you see it's sorted out differently, so from 6 to 1. This is our comments from other problems that we solved already. So now if I go back and do okay, let me save once and then do A minus B. I'll replace this with A, I'll replace this with B, and then go back and clear, and then go like this. It will be 1 to 6. Nice. It's easy, but shows that you understand what you actually do. Welche Computersprache arbeitest du gerade? It's JavaScript. Yeah. How you learn all how you learn all this with time. You manage your time to do this. Can you explain what the reduce function does, please? Yes, I will do that. Just 1 second. I'll try to read the easier. Yeah. So good night, the clear. It's late, I know. Yeah. What is your title? I am software engineer 1. That's what we call as in titles in my company, which means that you are software engineer graded 1. There is 1 to 4 or 4 to 1. I think 1 will be in the best. Yeah. Can you explain what the reduce function does? 1 second. Do you code solidity? I don't know. What is that? Is there a way to merge the arrays without iterating them? Yeah, spreading. I think that's what I showed, but it will still iterate them. So it's O of n, I think. North Africa, yes. Concat array, yes, that will work, I think. All right, I think one here gave the option where you concatenate. I think concatenating, parse them directly. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe that you don't iterate them. Yeah. Do you make them? But concat isn't for string. I'm not sure. I actually forgot that part. Yeah, I just subscribed. Thank you, man. Yeah, you have the subs. Yeah, I see. I see, man. Thank you a lot. Yeah. You subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Raz Bumba. That's really cool. Thank you a lot. Yeah. How do you learn all of this? Just with time, man. Is flat to make the yeah, flat will work also. There's also a good thing called flat map. It's a new one that I saw actually today in a video as well. GS Hero. Yeah. Actually, that's correct. Where can I start learning this? You can start learning it from YouTube. Yeah. Do you need someone to clean your PCs? So asking like weird questions. I hope that people don't start selling stuff in the comments now. How can I keep a balance from front and back full stack? It's always new stuff coming up. I think you start with front end and then you can learn full stack dev stuff. Like, for example, for me, I built a React app, and then how can I deploy that, right? I bought a VPS. I didn't know how to do it now still. I searched the internet. How can I deploy my app? Very easy. Someone said, do it via PM2. Okay, now I know PM2. Go search PM2. PM2 status. Okay, learn about Linux. Systemctl. Okay, now I learned. What should I do? Go create 2 route users. Okay, I created 2 route users. Learn about chmod and how you actually add libraries and maybe folders to your Linux-based environment. Okay, now my Linux-based environment looks shitty. How can I make it prettier so I could at least I understand what I'm doing? Learn ISA or EXA for file directories or something like that. Use AI. Why not? And so on. I'm just giving you an example of my life. Every day I go like that. How is your view on using ChatGPT? I use ChatGPT every day. Some people actually have ChatGPT in their jobs with a pro subscription, which means that they are actually talking too much about switching their focus from actually showing people how to work to showing people how to prompt ChatGPT easier, right? That's cool, but it depends on which way you want to go. And yeah, I mean, it's really amazing that you are asking these questions, because for a junior you can start learning that way, and you will be just good to know how to use it with time. In the beginning, it will just serve you code, you copy paste it, you don't care, and then you will feel the guilt, right? The imposter syndrome kind of thing, and you would say, okay, at least I will just do this and do that, and I will learn this part at least. Oh, you will learn a small part. Someone say, has do YouTube channel? Yeah, I do. I will name them all with the same name. I think I should do that. I do one, but you can find me, guys, with this name. Actually, this is my real name. You can search YouTube for me, and also you can find out that that I have a Twitch channel also with the name of Async Stack. So, because asynchronous JavaScript, I thought that Async Stack is a good name. The thing is, I never thought that I will be streaming. So the issue is that when I started, I just went with the flow, and I started literally last week, and every day I gained around 100 followers, which is super cool. In this live alone, I gained like around 66 followers, which is really amazing. So I will continue doing this. I will make everything Async Stack. Basically, everything will be named Async Stack. Even this channel will be changed later on. So, do you have Italian origins? Not really. But what's Tunisia? What's Malta? What's Italy? I'm from Tunisia, so yeah, we all have 40-degree summers. Let's see. How is it to be a developer in your country? Actually, I tried that. I tried to build apps for free in my country. I never actually worked in it as a software developer. Right now, I am in Germany, working there as a full-time developer, also as a contractor with some guys here. And I really like it here. I think it depends a bit of the money, a bit of the family, and stuff like that. So you will always choose to be in some place and not another, just because you follow what you see best for you, and it's a bit of everything, I think. Can you white hat? Yes, I do that. Amir Rajab. Yeah, actually, Amir, I did a lot of white hat stuff. I would say this, but nobody please ask for it. I built like a reverse shell before, where I can infiltrate Windows from 7 to 11, I think, without any problem. But the problem is that the moment you know how to hack, just normal from now on. You can hash some stuff, you can make them work, and I can reverse shell anything with just the PDF that I send you via the email. I learned that, and then I was like, okay, now I know how to do it. Let me just move on, and I moved on. I'll prefer to do web development for some reason. Yeah. Okay, always wondered how IT marked in North Africa. Let me explain you this. Like, North Africa, especially my country, Tunisia, came in politically wrong since like 1950s to 2000, right? We had like dictatorship, we had problems and stuff like that. But what we did not miss on is that education is key, basically. What we had is that we were infiltrated by basically the French army in, I don't know, 1886 or whatever, and then it continued until 1956 when we gained our freedom. And then they left everything. I mean, everybody liked Tunisia at that time. They said, okay, we are French, but we still speak French with Tunisian. They speak French as well. We've been here for 50 years. Why not we stay, right? And they stayed. The thing is that we learned their language and we had our own. So it mixed up. So if you are a good student now, you have many options. You can speak English like me and go to, I don't know, any country, or you can gather up some money and go to France because you know that you already can learn there and can speak their language. And education is key. It became like a two welded swords basically, and you can use this one whenever someone need it, and you can use the other, and that's it. Rice Bomba, you message me, alright, I will answer all the messages later on. Please feel free to message me whenever, so I can answer all the questions. Alright, cool. I mean, I will now talk about reduce, just to explain it in more details. Yes, so I am in the dev section. Yeah, here I am devin actually. Nice. So I have here reduce function explained, right? But let's use it for more complicated stuff. Reduce can work as filters as well. Can work as anything you want, basically. And you can say that it will help you run through an array, but with a callback function that you can apply on every element. And this callback function can be custom. What we did with sum here, the callback function was already sum. It's like, hey, do you have to? That's it. That's whatever you do. But in here, it was different. We said the callback function will be actually summing up. What about if my callback function will be something else, like minusing stuff right now, right? Or saying if, yeah, this also will work, but we will not call it sum though, or let me just do that. We will call it rum for just for the sake of it, and we will console log it here, right? And let's just clear and do that. Why it's not console login? Actually, yes, it is. Just to make sure that I called it correctly and I saved, because sometimes I have problem with saving. Yeah. So here it went from 6 to -6, and this is for the sum and this is for minusing stuff. So what you are seeing here is the same reduce but doing two different things, right? So how can you manage that? You just need to understand what is this, where is it? Where is this accumulator and where is this current? So whatever you defined here is your accumulator. Whatever you defined here is your current element of the array. So here you're saying accumulator will start from 0, and each time I will add the current. I will add the element of each iteration, right? And then what will happen here with this minus, it is totally the opposite. It's just the accumulator will start from 0, and then each time you will minus that accumulator. So now you have a new callback function. This seems like a bit easy, but imagine if you want to, if you actually have an array of strings like A, B, let's do it like this, maybe A, B, C, and just it like that, so just we don't complicate it too much, right? And I'll actually console log it just for the sake of it. Console.log this, and then go here and do that. All right, so then I will use reduce in it, right? And instead actually of doing sum here, I will concatenate every string. So you have an accumulator and you have a current, right? And these are your callback functions, basically like that. And in this case, you will start from an empty string. Here you started from 0, but here you will start from empty string. Why is that? Because now your accumulator should be at the end a string, right? And then you will say, hey, actually it can be the same, A plus B, because then you can concatenate. Or you can say, actually to string maybe, or something like that. But I don't know, I think A plus B will work, because if you can concatenate strings, it will still work like a charm. Let's try out. Oh, whoopsie. What do we have? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I did a mistake. See, I didn't close the array and I closed it here. So what you will see right now is that sometimes I'm like a falcon. I know what my mistake, just like that. But that's with time you will become like that, you know. With time you will know where to look. Look at me right now typing clear wrongly. And now I have a problem with this A plus B. Let's see what is the problem. A plus B is not defined. You see, I made another mistake. And this one should be actually accumulator plus current. All right, cool. So now it's only C. Why is that? Yeah, I know why. Can you know? Yeah. So here it returns C. Why? Because the accumulator will be always concatenated the current, and that current I think is not read correctly. So let me see what I'm doing, and then reduce. This one closes here, and this one closes the console log. Okay. All right. Now see, now ABC. Right. So cool. That's it. I mean, you start always with the accumulator being whatever you put over here. That's your initial value, and then you do a computation that it can be anything basically, and you do it there. So let's say here you want A plus B plus a space, right? And that can be also something you can return. Yeah. And then if you do clear, and then oops, I didn't save, right? Maybe it's not doing that correctly. Yeah, actually it's not reading it. Why is that? It's something wrong with it. Let me put the space in between then, and that will be there, and it will not be like that. It will be just, yeah, I put the string wrongly in the beginning. So now you will see space, 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 space. Okay, cool. That's it. I'm also living in the I have the same IDE, you mean? Okay. Is this R? No, this is JavaScript. Is das nicht IT? What is your thoughts on TypeScript? Do you prefer it? There is a saying that says whenever my writes ends starts a write of another person. That's when JavaScript ends starts TypeScript writes. And TypeScript is like this, is like, I know JavaScript work, but the difference between JavaScript and Java is that Java is a typed language, which means that Java will let you actually know what you're having inside that string. For example, it will be only string and always a string, and that's it. But TypeScript actually adds that to JavaScript, and it lets it be typed, like a typed language now JavaScript became. So then if you are working on a util function that returns only string, and then you return an array, it will just flag it. It will be like, no, you agreed that it is like this, so you do it like this, and it won't let you go further. So that's what TypeScript does. And then it has a lot of other stuff like enums to it, like omitting or selecting, or like stuff like that. So if you have a class of user basically, and this user has a password, do you want to communicate the password to the front end? Oh, no, you don't. So you pick the class of user or the type of user, and you omit only one attribute, which is the password. So then you will have a new user without a password. That's a type. And then when you show it to the front end, you make sure that that's its type. It's a type of user, omitted the password without the password. If you want the opposite, a user with an address, and you have a type of address somewhere flowing with the string type, you say, okay, I want the user with the password. No, the user with the address, and then you do the end-to-end operator, and you just extend from password. So that's it. It goes more into the OOP. Always we return to the object-oriented programming. Any regrets buying the Kinesis? Actually, I'm loving it. I bought two actually. If you are wondering what is the Kinesis chat, it's this keyboard that you have one on the right and one on the left. Oh, come on, how can I show you? Yeah, like this. So one here. And this one I write with it, and I have Control Alt and Enter, and this one also. Yeah. Nice. Thank you all for following actually and subscribing and all of that. It really helps. It pushes me forward to just come to the live stream every day. Do you know R? No, I don't. Yeah, cool. Nice. A lot of comments. Thank you all for being here. I'm trying my best actually. And we have even people watching from Kick, so bad RXD2, hello there, and Twitch as well. So we have a party today. Cool. I'm trying to see. I will actually stop coding now, and I will try to answer only questions. So if you have questions, please do that. Ask me any questions. Open QA, right? Open QA to everyone. And I'll try also, whenever I do something here, I'll try to keep it up for the next day. So I will continue doing this file and we will talk about it tomorrow. Yeah, I have work tomorrow and it's already after midnight for me. I do have tomorrow work. Sad, right? When do I become rich with JavaScript? I think I won't. What are you going to make now? Actually, I have some tea next to me and I'm going maybe to play some FIFA and sleep. And that's it. Yeah. What else? Very good, actually. A lot of good questions. Nice. Watching on YouTube live. Great. We have another fault. What is it? Ah, okay. Yeah, I saw your comment on YouTube. Yeah, it's all. I started literally 3 days ago or 4 days ago streaming, so you will see that I don't have, like, the most that I have subscribers is on TikTok right now, because TikTok is very cool. Like, you post and it spreads like crazy. What are you going to make now? Are you not coding? Yeah, I was coding for 2 hours. You just missed it. So what we were doing is actually, always I type the clear wrong. We were actually doing these kind of small functions that we trying to solve, like toBuzz here. The fizzBuzz part is valid. Yeah, is valid is actually good. I will leave these to tomorrow. What it says, for example, this one says find the contiguous subarray with the largest sum in the given array. That's really cool. So kind of like with the continuous. So basically you go -2, 1, -3, and then you try to find out 2 elements that their sum will be over all the other sums that you counted. Cool. I mean, it's really cool. Yeah. This one also count primes. This is really a bit complicated. Remove duplicates. Maybe I will do this one now because it's simple, right? How can you remove duplicates in JavaScript? Anybody knows? Let me just copy this here. We did it already today, so we can do it again. Okay, find R, and I will copy this one. Now I will just yank this and name it here without typing again. So let's do an array, and we need to return something here. This is very simple, by the way. Right. You can do it a lot of ways, but the easier way is to maybe do a new set. Yeah, spread a new set, and that set will be from the array. And why using set? Because this one should return 1 and 2. And I will tell you in a second why using set, because set doesn't accept duplicates, basically. Yeah. So that's it. That's one of the remove duplicates. We have saved the hard parts for tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time. I start streaming around 10 to 11 p.m. CET, I don't know, Central European time. So Berlin, Paris. Yeah. Cool. About the salary, did IT make? What do you mean? How much can you make? You mean? I'll give you a range. I make personally around the 100k mark plus minus, and you can do that, especially in Munich or Switzerland or somewhere in Basel also. You can get that and live still in the suburbs. Drive every day your BMW M3, and that's it. You can do wonders with IT. Actually, you can get paid so much a lot. Yeah. Which things you have to know when you want to learn software basics. Yeah, cool. So algorithmics is good. So how can you learn algorithms? You learn that by doing. And when I say by doing, I mean it. You just take what you learned today and try to do it again tomorrow without looking at ChatGPT or what are your notes. You start with an idea. You say, yesterday I learned how to reverse an array. I remember that I used the API function called split. But where does split come from? Oh, wait a second. Does that mean that the window object in the console that I have on my browser has this? Okay, I will type a normal string. I will press dot. Oh my gosh, I don't have only split. I have split, concat, replace, reverse, splice, slice. What the hell? Where did this come from? Wait a second. There is a proto array. Oh, what is a proto? Oh, I don't know what is that. And then boom, this proto actually means something. And you go from there, right? And that's it. That's how I learned, and that's how can you learn. Yeah, you can use 2 pointers and get an even more efficient solution. True, Jesse? True. It's an algorithm. These are easy beginner questions though. Yeah, these are easy beginner questions, and I'm starting with that. I did one where I felt like nobody's following. This one, I felt like everybody is going out, which is to someone. I used just a simple map with a different target, and I even did a for loop. And people are not familiar with what the map stores and how, if you get the diff, it gives you the key as the index, the value as the current element. So I was like, okay, that's probably a bit too much. Even this, like to spread the set, some people didn't know that a set only accepts unique values. So yeah, you keep it low and you try to talk with people that are trying to learn JavaScript. And that's the content for my channel itself. Like, we are learning all together, right? That's Leetcode easy. Yes. And then I have actually some other stuff coming up in the next few days, and we are building apps actually. Not only doing Leetcode. Yeah. Why did you get into coding? That's a good question. I studied IT basically my whole life, and I was a geek, playing video games a lot and trying my best to kind of like keep up with it. And it went from there. I started learning coding in 2009. I started with learn how to hack, kind of stuff like that, how to make an Arduino and connect some stuff to it and make a bulb like light up and stuff like that. And then I learned about hashing. I loved it a lot. I started making my own auth providers and stuff like that. And then I knew about system design. I started making some Linux. I started attending some Linux courses. And I will tell you the whole life story, I think, if you are up for it. And then came up this trend about how to make your own reverse shell, I remember, and stuff like that, with Backtrack at the time, or Linux subsystems and stuff like that. So I learned a lot of that, and I learned how to hash it correctly. I made some viruses that at that time was good for Windows 7 to not detect them. And then I learned about cracking video games. And then I decided not to go like more than I should be, and I became like a white hat kind of person. I was trying to learn like better stuff, and maybe create plugins for I don't know, for NeoVim. Right now I'm trying that as well, so for Vim editors and stuff like that. And I continued there, and then React came in 2013-14. I remember Reddit. I heard about it in Reddit, and then started learning class components, Java. I didn't like Java too much extension, inheritance, static, public, constructors, blah, 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 blah. And then when I knew JavaScript and I knew how can I write a class with just a function, I was like, wow, this is the best language ever. And since then I've been learning PHP at the time, plus a bit of JavaScript. 2016 became professional, got my first degree. And then 8 years now. Yeah, I'm professional since 7 years exactly. Like, took me an internship plus signing a contract, and then went from there. I tried even Pascal, not even assembly. I mean, Sheesh, what a name. Ever tried assembly? Yes, I did, but also I didn't like it too much. Yeah, I'm very comfortable now with JavaScript. What exactly is coding? Why do people do it? Coding basically is just to make things easier. You just find a problem, try to solve it via code. Let's say you have an Excel sheet, you wanted to kind of like read it with a Python script and then extract some important data that you don't want your eyes to do it for you for like 50 hours ahead. So you just do it with a simple line of code. And therefore it became easy and easy and easy and became very much cool thing to do. All right. I'm a senior dev in Canada, system design. Very good, man. Wish you all the best, Jesse. Wish you all the best. I think Canada is one of the places that I wanted to work at, to be honest. I wanted to work in the US for sure, as everybody. Everybody wanted to be in the US and San Francisco and stuff. But now that I work with Adobe as a senior dev. And this is an insight. I know that in big companies like Apple, like Microsoft, there is a lot of politics. Imagine if you are the best, if you are Messi, let's say, or Cristiano Ronaldo, and you are going to play for, I don't know, like a Division 8, like football team, right? So at that moment, you feel that you're everything. That's like the moment when you signed, but you cannot do that. You need to teach more 10 players how to play professional football, the level of you, so they can pass the ball for you correctly so you can score. So with the US companies, there is a lot of politics, basically, and policies as well. So you would say, hey, I want to literally do an internal tool to kind of like make an app that makes everybody's day easier with signing up and signing out of work. Good thing we have the money for it. Nobody will say wherever, all right? So everybody accepts, my boss accepts, he's architect or wherever, and then management. Why do we need this? Marketing doesn't allow it, blah, blah, blah. Why do you need to do something that we want to win money from? Why can you not do this on your spare time after work? Blah, blah, blah. So they just give you a lot of reasons to not stay there, right? So what I like about being in Germany, especially, and working with the Germans, because you go home knowing what your tasks are for tomorrow. And when you have your daily, you have it just for 15 minutes a day. That's it. Over. No other meetings, nothing, just easy. What I do, and this is kind of like maybe a scoop, right? I wake up sometimes at 9:00, late, kind of, yeah, and have a meeting at 9:30. I just drink my coffee, take my time with it. 9:29, open my Teams, tell them what I did yesterday, close my Teams, go back to sleep, or go back to playing video games or doing something that wakes me up. Sometimes playing video games actually helps. I don't know how, but entering like FIFA or like FC24 and trying to like play with these try-hard kids and stuff makes my brain work. At 1 p.m., that's when my brain literally keeps up and says, okay, now I can build hard stuff. Do you think my boss texted me or said something? He saw that I am yellow, basically, in Teams. He probably have some internal tool that tells him this guy is literally not on his PC right now. They never care. What matters is that at certain moment you log in and you do your job. I finish working sometimes at 10 p.m. One of my tasks was last week to change from React app to Vite, right? Took me I did a PR with 390 files edited. You know, when the other senior dev looked at them one by one, you know, you find this only in these countries like Germany. Like these people are like machines, man. And I like that because I am with people that I think that they get me and I get them. And now if they put all the efforts to do that PR for me and to scan my code and think that this is wrong and this is good, then I will do the same for them. And that's a rebelot. That's how it works. That's life, right? So yeah, Rifa said that their daily is at 8:30 a.m. Well, I would resign. No, I'm kidding. I will wake up at that time. I don't care. Yeah, Silicon Valley. Yeah, Silicon Valley, I would be like literally burnt if I go there. Yeah. And Eagle said nobody wants to be in the US. Man, I grew up in a third world country. I look at like these kind of movies. When I saw like the first Facebook movie that I did, I was like, wow, I can just do nothing, gather out and drink beer or something, do something with my life and nothing, and nobody would care. And then we just have this mastermind meetings and stuff, and then think about what to do. It was just a dream. And then when I realized what coding is, I just gave up and said, okay, you know what, I will just start my own company and work B2B with whoever I think that they are good to work with. Yeah, nice. Can you scan documents with the GS? Yeah, you can. I will show you something that I did that with. I think another project. Yeah, we are going to that white noise project. I think I have it there. Yeah, with Vite actually. Yeah. So, all right. So what I have here is a source folder that contain assets folder that contains some downloaded noises, which are files, basically OGG files or MP3 files that are downloaded from this, what you see over here, but with this Py script over here. So this is a Python script that downloads all these files. What you do to read files is just you go to my util functions, lib utils. Yeah, no, not this one. Helpers, sorry, helper utils. Yeah. So this line is what you do. Basically, you import metaglob. It's like importing a blob feature for Vite, and yeah, the sound assets will be available for you. And do you know how to read them? Very easy, actually. You go to component, reusable component. No. White noises player. Yeah. I think here, no. Add your noise, maybe, no. I forgot, sorry. I think in the app.tsx, yeah. Here you go. So you do object.entry, and you get the path and the model. The model is the file itself. The path is the path of the file name, basically. And as you see here, I do like this tricky code to just pick the title of the file from the path itself, and then I give it an icon and then a path again. Yeah, and the model, I didn't even use it because I know also that Vite reads, if I put the source, if I here go to definition, if I put the source of the file here, yeah, the source of the file, ZT, as the path, then it will read it. And this file is an audio file, so if you can read audio, then you can read anything. Yeah, cool. I want to work in Germany-based company. I'm a web developer, by the way. I wish for the best for you. I mean, the thing is that you just need to apply. I will tell you my story, how I applied, actually. A lot of things you guys don't know, but I studied in a Russian university. It's called Voronezh State University. And I was there in the beginning by a stipend, which means like a scholarship, but then I lost it because I had a fight with some kid. Yeah. Nevertheless, I got my degree, and then I spoke Russian, not that much, but barely. I think I had B1. And I was leaving Russia, going back to Tunisia, my own country. And then someone said, do you want to work with us? I was like, who are you? They were like a company called Libertex or Forex Club. They do mathematical models, basically like ChatGPT, but for trading. And I said, okay, if you do that, then let me see what you want to do. And I was mathematical modeler at the time, which means that I do algorithmics more than JavaScript. And I didn't know much about JavaScript, actually. So it was that or another American company. I'm almost lucky. I almost have an America or USA in my head, and I'm thinking about it always. And yeah, it happened to be that these guys was like, how do you want to get paid, and where do you want to work from? And I was like, what? Are you saying that I can work remotely? This was 2019, early 2018, even before Corona comes, and nobody works remotely. okay. I said, fine, I can do that. And I went home, Tunisia. 15 days I stayed from 1st of September 2018 to 15, basically. They said to me, hey, can you go anywhere without a visa? And this is the burden of being a third world country. You can go nowhere without a visa. I said, no, I can go nowhere. Sorry for that. They literally entered Wikipedia and said, where can Tunisian passport get used to go? And they said, oh, Serbia, you can go without a visa. And Serbia is in the Balkans, right? I don't speak their language. It's similar. Like, if you speak Russian, then you know that 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3. And then they said 1, 2, 3, and something like that. It's like a bit different accent, but a lot of new verbs as well. And they use Cyrillic or Cyrillic letters. I said, okay, I can read Cyrillic a bit, and I was 24. So I said, okay, fuck it. This is maybe my 20s, and I can do whatever I want. I went to Serbia, to Belgrade. I lived in the best area ever. I lived like a king. I got paid with Bitcoin because 2016, if I kept these Bitcoins, I'd probably be a millionaire by now. But because it's a Forex Club company, they said, okay, you know what? We will register you as an IT worker administrator who gets 800 euros only, but we will give you everything under the table. We send it via Bitcoin or via the platform itself. Basically, they will give it to you as shares. I said, okay, no problem. You can send it to me in Bitcoins. They said, okay, no problem. I get paid in Bitcoins in 2018. Sorry, I said 16 by mistake. 2018. But yeah, I started my Bitcoin journey in 2016. So then the funny part started is that I got paid shitload of money, and I didn't know that I am really good. I am really good with my life, but I always kept looking up. Like I was like, no, I need to go to Germany, France, these countries, freedom, US. I still had, because everybody's interviewing me. WordPress interviewed me like for PHP position. Wikimedia Foundation, Netflix interviewed me also. Like I had like, wow, like everybody was interested. So I was like, yeah, I will go for it. I went to Germany with shitload of money. I lost it all in just rent and stuff, because the thing is that you don't know where you are until you just put yourself in the hole. And that's what happened for me. It's just kind of like, if I stayed with them, got paid minimal wage and stayed in a very cheap country, I would have made a lot. And in Germany you get paid much, but it's the same experience, same people, same stuff. And yeah, I still hate it that I moved sometimes, and I say why, but I think with time I got used to it, and now I think nothing is wrong with what I did. It's just that I chose to make myself in a harder situation to maybe prove myself that I can live here or whatever. All right, so that's the story. I mean, tell me what you think. Yeah, what should the salary range of a mid developer based in Germany want to pitch companies soon? Okay, 2025 started with this problem that everything rises. So I think you can ask for a senior developer salary and you still get away with it, right? Why? Because I think a junior could ask for 65k now. Easy, he can get it. Middle level can ask between 75 to 82, kind of like that. A senior can say 95 to 115, and that will work. Yeah, I think that's my position, if you know your stuff for sure. Thank you, Kaks Nimitskam. Actually, I don't think that I'm good at it yet. I have A2 actually. That's a Russian guy following. Nice. It's very cool that I can read everything and I understand. Yeah. What's the best option to start with IT? Start with Python. I always say this, even though that it's not what I do, but start with Python. It's really good. Golang. Hope it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Golang is very cool. It teaches you a lot about backend. It's also from Google, right? I think. And a lot of people there use it, and you can actually go to big tech, because if people use it, they have very complicated project and very big project that uses a lot of messages like queues in the backend and stuff. And I think it's good also for microservices, and it can help you a lot. JavaScript versus HTML, what is faster? I think this guy doesn't know much, but JavaScript complements HTML, and the analogy is that HTML is words, JavaScript is the verb, and CSS is the adjective, so they all work together. What editor do you use? I use NeoVim actually, and it's really cool. It goes very well. Let's go to the training part where we were doing our challenge. Yeah, that will be good because I jumped projects. Okay. What editor do you use? NVim, bro, are you coding? Now I'm not. Now I am actually wrapping up. I still have 1 minute and I think a few minutes and I will close this live stream. Yeah. Hi from Ukraine. Hi there. How many years of experience do you have? I have 8 years of experience. Can you give me an internship, please? Why not? I mean, yeah, I mean, I will open up internship, not now, but soon. So if I have, I will maybe mention it in the chat. Yeah, or maybe mention it in a live stream. You can be here. So I live stream every day. Thank you everybody for being here. Honestly, it's good. Contact me whenever. Thanks for the subscription. Some guy subscribed and I'm really grateful for that. Thank you for the support. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. We had a lot of fun, and luckily tomorrow I will be live streaming as well. So please join me up. Please join in whenever free. Thank you a lot, everyone. Honestly. And yeah, tomorrow we will continue with the other problems and go for more middle to senior level problems. And hopefully we shoot for 100 to watch, not 50, right? That's cool. Thank you everyone also from Kick and Twitch, because there's people also watching from there. And I see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you. Bye-bye.